Welcome back to the Global Business Report on Arise News. In Kenya, the money laundering and card fraud allegations raised against Korapay, a Nigerian payment company, by Kenya's Asset Recovery Agency have been dropped. According to its website, ARA, of course, is the Kenyan agency that identifies, traces, freezes, seizes, confiscates, and records proceeds of crime in the East African country, have dropped those charges against the company. And we are thankfully have the founder and CEO, Dickson Nsofor, to discuss that with us. Well, good morning and congrats, because I can imagine this was a very rough period for you and the firm. You, just to clear up, you were licensed to operate in Kenya?
No, we are not licensed to operate in Kenya.
Okay.
What really happened there was we wanted to operate in the Kenyan market. We paid the sum of $250,000
wow. Okay.
as stated by the regulation to deposit in the Central Bank of Kenya, and we did that.
Okay.
In anticipation for the license, and the funds got frozen in the account for reasons we know not about even till today. Yeah. And we're so happy that the court system works. It was a nightmare for us as a business, managing our partners, investors, clients all across the globe. Yeah. But we're so happy that after looking through, we never even transacted in Kenya. Yeah. After looking through, and we've been vindicated to be innocent in everything that happened. All
right, now I gotta ask this because the timing, so it was also the prior administration, then there was an election, a new administration came in, and then I think they got dropped. Do you have any ties to the Ruto administration? I'm sorry, I have to ask this question. No. Do you have any ties to the Ruto administration or anything like that?
It's a good and fair question, because we also saw that on Twitter and some people asking that question. Yeah. We don't. And I would assume that if anyone did have ties, it should have been dropped a lot faster. Yeah. But it was a painful experience for us as a business, and as a new startup trying to find its place in a very crowded payment space in Africa. So we don't have any ties.
All right, cool. So that's clear. All right, let's talk payments. Africa, as you know, it's a fragmented payment system. There's lots of players trying to figure out. How are you and the rest of the players trying to patch that up, that fragmented payment space in Africa?
Yes, I think when you talk about fragmentation, a lot of people might not even understand what it means to a daily person. Right. If you transferred money now from Nigeria to Ghana, what really happens is the money goes to correspondent bank in the US, touches back HSBC London, and then comes to Ghana. 2-3 days easily. When driving that same amount across the border through Aflao into Ghana will take 8 hours. Right. That's what fragmentation looks like. Gotcha. Our central system depends on the Western infrastructure to move funds between countries in Africa. And so what companies like ours is doing, Kora, is that we're making Africa what they say it is, a country. Yeah. We're trying to build one API, all countries in Africa, and that would entail, or that would involve us going into every single country in Africa, connecting to the central switches. If it's necessary for us to get licenses anywhere, we'll get the licenses to operate. You see, what you see with businesses like ours is we've taken, I think we are the new generation of payment companies in Africa, new payment infrastructures. And what we're doing is we're bringing a mix of the global financial system into the African market. So we're seeing Kora getting licensed in places like Canada, working on licenses in Europe, in the UK, in Asia, and South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Ghana as well. And our job as a company is to make local companies go global and enable global companies to go local. And that's what we're doing with Kora.
Now, you just mentioned where you're getting licenses. What's the, does that also overlap with your distribution, or where you, as far as operations and so on for you guys?
Exactly. So it overlaps with the distribution and the operation as well. Okay. Most of the times, payment is very cultural, and so that will require you to ensure that you have an ad hoc team in the market you're operating, hire people there, and then build to the taste of the local market there. Yeah. Like for instance, mobile money is not major in Nigeria, whereas if you go to East Africa, it's a major means of payment acceptance, right? So you have to build it to their infrastructure and to the taste of the people there. So yes, for sure.
And people need to understand this. When they talk about mobile money, we're talking about buying granuts on the side of the road with mobile money, or getting on a bus.
I spent a lot of time in China, actually schooled in China.
Oh, okay.
When you go on the road, you see beggars begging with their QR code.
What?
I tell you, bro.
Are you serious?
Beggars begging with their QR code. And so, for us at Kora, we say our vision is creating a future void of financial services barrier across Africa.
Yeah.
A future void of financial service barrier also means online and offline.
Gotcha.
At the point where the groundnut seller will be using our infrastructure to accept payments for their groundnuts on the road.
Yeah.
Now, how that's going to happen, we don't know yet.
Right.
But we're building the infrastructure
to try to get there.
We're building the infrastructure to get there.
So wait, I have to ask this of every company. So you're more B2C or B2B with what you're offering now? Is it?
Yes. What we're doing is we're strictly B2B. Okay. Our strategy at Kora is simply kind of like the Microsoft strategy, where Microsoft condensed the huge operating system and made it so readily available that anybody could build a computer system and integrate Microsoft into it, like Acer, Compaq, HP, you know?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Kora might not be what a consumer would see. However, we would be powering the new generation of consumer apps, the fintechs, the digital banks, the right and proper companies, mobile money companies that will be bridging the gap of, you know, this financial exclusion thing that we're all worried about.
Yeah. So
yes, that's what we're doing at Kora.
I understand you're working on some kind of multi-currency product. Now, currency, so how is that supposed to work?
Let me first by putting a disclaimer. We're 100% CBN regulated. We respect the CBN.
Good disclaimer.
To our bone marrows.
Best disclaimer ever. Okay, good. All right.
But however, we also need to build a global brand.
Okay.
And for that reason, we have clients across different geographical jurisdictions, as well as clients in different industries. So we have clients working with us in the EU market, clients working with us, you know, in, say, the South African markets, the Kenyan market as well. Yeah. So we have partners, or we're working on licenses to serve those global merchants. Whereas for the Nigerian businesses, we can't offer products that the Central Bank of Nigeria has not authorized us to offer.
Gotcha.
And we intend to stick to that regulation, adhere to that strictly. But then for clients who have multinational operations across, say, 20, 30 different countries, you know, the likes of the Indomies, the likes of the Pfizers, Cotsons, Nestle's, we have products and solutions for those kind of companies across their multiple jurisdictions. So one of our key products we're building is virtual bank accounts, GBP, Euros, USD for global merchants that are trying to work in the African market space. Also, we're releasing a key product in January. It's going to be virtual card issuance. There's only one player in the market right now in Africa that has that. And we're the second licensed people to have that kind of product coming up. And so we're so excited about the future of what we're building in connecting the countries across Africa, connecting the products, connecting the markets in Africa.
Good stuff. Hey, look, again, congrats on getting those charges dropped. You're free now to, you know, build, do the work that you're meant to do. And we thank you for coming on the show to talk to us about the future. Mr. Dickson Nsofor, CEO, founder of Korapay. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.